What's up, traders? Welcome to the Day Trading Show. Today, we are sitting down with ASFX member and BlackShirtClub member, Colin. Colin is a Hong Kong trader. He's based in China. He has a lot of valuable experience to share. He has transformed himself in the last 6 to 7 months of working with ASFX. So he will be very relatable to a lot of you guys, very authentic. And I think it's going to come across as something where you could see yourself as where Colin was and then wanting to become what Colin is today. And if you're interested in the Black Shirt Club, we do have space open for 2023. So if you want to join the mentorship group that we're going to mention a lot today, go to asfx.biz/BSC or just go to our website. There's tabs at the top. There's links in the description wherever you're listening or watching this. Book a free call with me. Let's hop on. Let's make sure it's a good fit before you just join the club. And hopefully we could help you make some serious improvements in your trading, just like we did for Colin. So enjoy the episode. Make sure you're paying attention. Colin is a very smart trader. I'm sure you're going to find value in this. All right, traders, we are back. We've got a special guest today. So Tom is here with me and Colin, all the way from Hong Kong. Now, Colin and I have known each other for, how long has it been, Colin? 7 months, 8 months?
Yeah, since last March, I think so. Yeah.
Coming up on our 1-year anniversary, bro. What are we going to do to celebrate?
That's funny, mate.
This is going to be a good episode. I'm really excited to get into it with Colin. Now, I have Tom here with me today because Tom has been Colin's coach in the Black Shirt Club for a good chunk of the time that Colin has been in the club. Colin's an ASFX member. He's taken the course. He's been in the mentorship program. So that's going to come up, I would say, a fair amount today. For those of you that don't know, the Black Shirt Club is our mentorship program. It's a 12-week program. Then for some people, we offer them to stay working with us if we feel like they've made a good effort in the program and we feel there's still areas that we can help. They stay on as Black Shirt Club Elite members, which is now what Colin is doing. And it's funny, Colin, you are a much different Black Shirt Club Elite member than you are a Black Shirt Club member. Your first few weeks in the club, you were a different trader than you are today, right, Tom? Can't you back that?
Oh, absolutely. I will never forget when Colin came into the Black Shirt Club. He came in and a lot of people could have learned from what Colin did. And the progress that Colin has made within that period has been phenomenal. He was the guy that would come in and would just be firing from the hip. And I have never met anybody that asks as many questions as Colin. Hands down, Colin asks more questions than anybody I have ever met in my entire life. But I think that's one of his massive, massive strengths.
I agree 100%. So before we jump into some questions and we, kind of put Colin in the hot seat today, Colin, can you kind of give everybody a little bio on yourself, maybe how you got into trading, where you're from, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So I'm from Hong Kong, China. So I started trading when the Bitcoin bull run started at I think it's 2020. So I get into trading because of the crypto thing, and I found out that like I learned trading from a hard way because so most of my money was stacked in cryptos, and right now crypto is not doing so well. So I got to find another way to make my investment back, right? So that's why I think of trading, and the first mentor that I have in trading is a guy that trades the 1 minute time frame, and I found out that that's so exhausting on my side, and it doesn't work well for me. So that's why I keep finding different mentor groups to join with, and I've been through several groups before, and I think ASFX has a different approach because previously those groups just sell you the courses and they don't have anything to back you up. But ASFX is different. They have things to back you up. Like they have like a chat room that's full of like very good traders to interact with, and you have a Black Shirt Club that you can interact with very serious traders. So I think, yeah, ASFX is different, and that's why I joined you guys. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. And now with the Black Shirt Club specifically, you came in, like Tom said, kind of in a place of just, we'll say, not consistent trading. You were getting exhausted, like you said, burnt out, not moving in the right direction. And then with some course correction, we've been able to make some serious improvements over the last few months. So I'll pass it really quick to Tom, if you want to speak a little bit on Colin's improvement, some of the areas maybe that you've seen his growth in the Black Shirt Club, because for those listeners that don't know, the Black Shirt Club is not just trading together every day, like Colin's saying. We're actually doing one-on-one coaching calls every week to review the day and review each days of trading, I should say. Colin's done a really good job at tracking all of his stuff. Colin does some of the best daily report cards that we have. Yeah. So I think that made Tom's job a little bit easier. But Tom, you want to speak on that a little bit, how coaching Colin was?
Yeah, so I remember Colin coming in and he'd been in ASFX, and if I believe right, the first 4 months were losing months.
Yeah, exactly.
So my main focus was to understand why. Where's it going wrong? And like I say, Colin was taking lots and lots of trades. But like you said, Colin was definitely one of the best at filling out the DRCs, the journals, the trader improvement program that they get given as part of the Black Shirt Club. And that tracks everything. And it tracks all parts of Colin's life, pre-trading routine, the trades that he was taking, his off the chart habits, he's on the chart habits. And there was one huge correlation in Colin's bad days versus his good days. And it was nothing to do with his trading at all. It was all about his sleep pattern. We went backwards and forwards for weeks on Colin's sleep. And we've changed his lifestyle. We changed when he was working out, what time he was going to bed, the time he was getting up, because it was just so obvious. When he was getting sleep, his performance was so much better. And we took him from losing 4 months in a row to making money within that first month of joining the BSC. And then we followed it up month after that. So, and that was just through the sleep. Now we're right. Now he's consistent and he's back on. We're optimizing and pushing Colin to accelerate that growth. But at the start, it was just trying to identify where things were not quite right or not, that could have been better ultimately. And it sticks out to this day. And it's something that we now look at amongst all of the other traders because it had such a big impact on Colin's trading.
Is it sleep, like because sleep is so important, or is it something to do with the hours with Hong Kong and stuff like that?
So from what we have the conversation in our coaching course, I think it's the sleep. That's the thing. And sleep is one of it. And sometimes what is behind that sleeping problem? Is it you're working out too much, you're stressing out yourself, or is it you're not eating at the right time? Because you need some time for your food to digest, right? If you like eat like an hour before you sleep, like you're gonna like not gonna sleep well, right? So actually it's what happens before the sleep or what happens after the sleep you do that affects the sleeps. That affects my trading for performance before.
That's very, very interesting. What were you gonna say, Tom?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna, because it, like Colin's just said, you were working out twice a day. I remember we were like cutting that one out at the night before you were trying to get to bed. And you are a night owl. I can be on, and you're still there at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning your time, like not going to bed, and you can still be up. And I'm like, what are you doing, Colin? It's 5 a.m. in the morning and you've not been to bed. Like I'm getting up at 5 the next morning, and you're just going to bed.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a big one. And I think it's had a massive effect on his trading. Huge.
Well, also like his confidence. Once you figured that out, it's like you broke Colin out. That's what I was saying. He's a much different trader now than he was when he started the club. It's like you broke him out of his shell, gave the kid some confidence, and now he's like in the chat, running the chat. I feel like every morning I get to wake up and see something funny or something that Colin said that is helping somebody. Like Colin's super involved now. You know what I mean? So I think maybe we could talk about, from your perspective, Colin, where does that confidence come from? Is it you got the sleep down, you started winning more trades and that's it? Or is there something else that you would attribute it to?
Yes, getting my habits back on track is definitely one of it. And also, I think it's because when you see that you trade the same system and you get the consistent results that you have, you start to have your confidence up a lot. And I think that confidence comes with a lot of work, like journaling and stuff like that. And if you skip that journaling part, you wouldn't be able to gain that confidence, because sometimes I still have this issue, like maybe I got like too emotional when I want to get in a trade. But through journaling, I will be able to actually cut it before that emotion steamrolled me. So when that pattern happens, I can cut it off before it actually induces me to do something that's damageable to my trading. And this is what you guys preach about, right? Taking things that not working for us out, and that's how we earn money, right? So yeah,
So
I think that's it.
just to
Yeah.
build on that, because you are probably the most self-aware trader that I certainly work with in the BSC, and you get better and better every month. But just for the listeners, how are you doing that? And if you can, I know you've got it on your desk in front of you. Can you just like lift it up and show people? Like, you don't have to like show anything, but what are you doing? Talk us through the process of your journaling emotions.
Well, I have a notebook that's in front of my desk every day. So when I catch myself thinking of like anything, I would just like write it down inside my notebook. And like, even if I'm like taking a shower and I have some thoughts, immediately, like after the shower, I came out and just jot down my thoughts inside the notebook. And some minor things, just like what's the risk reward of my trades? What, maybe we can like journal about like what's the minimum risk reward of your trades actually goes. And this is like what we can test. But if we don't have that journaling, we would immediately forget what happens at that moment we think about something, right? So that's why I think that journaling is very key. And also, don't just journal your thoughts, journal your emotions too. And what lures you into thinking about this thing, and at that moment, what did you do? So you can reflect back on it and see if it's the right thing to do, or are you being steamrolled again by your emotions. So I think, yeah, you guys should get a notebook like me, like inside my desk. Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons that I believe Colin has made such a big improvement, is because not only is he journaling his trade statistics, his habits, he's literally going in and writing down what he's feeling every moment of every trade. So the benefit he's getting is when, say you're in a trade and it's going towards your take profit, but it doesn't quite get there. How many times do you get anxious and shit the bed and pull the trade because you don't want it to go all the way back to your break-even point or your stop loss? Colin literally writes, I'm feeling really anxious now. It's near my stop loss, my take profit, and there's no reason to get out, and I'm panicking a little bit, or I feel anxious. And that's how it starts. And then we're like, so at what point towards your take profit does this come in? Then he can be like, he can capture his thoughts in the moment and be like, this is just my emotions taking over. There's no technical reason to get out of this. This is just my mind playing games with me, so I can stick with it. Or the other way around, I'm in drawdown. It's going towards my stop loss. It's going towards my stop loss. And people sometimes will move it and lower it down, and then they'll try and ride it. And Colin's like, no, this is now invalid. I'm capturing my thoughts. I'm aware of this. I know I shouldn't do this. I need to let it hit my stop loss, and then my risk is done and I'm following my plan. So Colin is so aware of his thoughts, but we all act on the things that we shouldn't. But because Colin is aware, he doesn't, because he can then say, no, that's not the right thing. That's not what my plan says. It might be what my head's telling me to do, but it's not what my plan says to me to do. And I've not found anybody that can do that as well as Colin can at the minute. And I do think a lot of it is because of the level of journaling that he goes to.
Yeah, I think that the personality test that we make everybody take at the beginning of the Black Shirt Club test kind of backs up everything that you guys are saying. Colin scored pretty high, if I remember correctly, in the conscientiousness, which is like, in my eyes, how much does he care about the work? And I think if you care about it, when we do this type of journaling, you increase your self-awareness. So Colin's self-awareness has become his superpower, and it's allowed him to be aware of the emotion and not let it, like he said, steamroll him. I like that, Colin.
Yeah,
It's a very
yeah.
nice vulgar term kind of right there.
I learned it from Jared.
There you go.
I learned it. Yeah.
You're talking about Jared Tendler?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, his for everybody that's listening, his book, what is it? The Mental Game of Trading, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has 2 books. Like I
And
think
poker.
one of a poker one and the
Mental
trading
Game
one.
of Poker.
Yeah. We're having him on the podcast in a couple of weeks, so that should be good to chat with him and kind of dig into the psychology of that. I'm sure his concepts have been impactful. So speaking of him, since we plugged him, Colin, give some of the newer traders or people that don't have a good resource, who are you reading or listening to? We've been preaching ASFX the whole podcast. Who are you reading or listening to outside of ASFX that's helped you?
I think there's a lot of videos on YouTube, right? And I think the biggest impact for me is like Mark Douglas. Like he preaches about like the risk and the uncertainty of the market. And another guy that I like is Tom Dante, and and he talks about like how competitive and how serious trader actually needs to be in order to make it in this business. And those 2 guys have a lot of impact on my trading career.
When you say
up till
competitive,
now.
do you mean competitive against themselves, competitive against the market? What has he taught you about competitiveness?
He talked about like what kind of work you need to put in to trading in order to make it. So it's not about the competitiveness to the market. It's about exactly as you said, competitiveness to yourself. And you got to have a high standard on yourself, like what kind of things you need to do each day. So he preaches something like his day doesn't end when he closes the trade. His day ends when he actually like journal all his stuff and do some like number crunching, as he said, like how does his trade will do if he doesn't manage it, or he doesn't manage it. Is there any difference on it? So that's what he preaches about. And like if I didn't like listen to those guys, like I wouldn't be putting so much work on it. So that's why like trading is, people take it so like easy, but actually there's tons of shitload of work in the back end to do. Like people think that we just press buttons to make money, right? But that's like the surface of it, right? Like the tip of the iceberg, but below there's a huge fucking workload that we need to do, right?
100%.
Before we actually make that money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so competitive. Like to be honest, he said something like if you're not ready for that kind of work, somebody else is, and they will outwork you and they will take your money away. And that like amazes me, to be honest,
Very, very true. I feel like even at his point, Tom Dante or any of these guys that have been trading even like longer than all of us put together, it seems like journaling is still something a part of their routine. There's only a few guys who I've seen that journaling and review does not become a part of what they do anymore. Do you think that'll ever be something that you stop doing, Colin? Do you ever feel like there's enough optimization in your trading that you would just say, I'm just going to trade?
For now, I don't think so, but in the future, maybe. But I think, I don't know, maybe those guys actually have enough self-awareness, so they might be able to skip that. But on my level now, no, I don't think.
Well, imagine doing something for 20 years, like 20 years of doing the same thing. I'm only 28, so I can't even imagine the level of like competency, the level of proficiency that you have after 20 years of doing it. You know what I mean? What do you think, Tom?
Yeah. And actually they still do things that's like the hard work, like
of course.
And they are like they could chill at the beach, right? But they don't, like they still put in tons of work to work on the edge. Like, so what makes that like don't do that, right? So at our level right now, right, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you think, Tom?
I think it has to remain in there in one way, shape, or form. I think, like you say, there may be the odd one or two that don't need to journal, but that's probably because they're sat on a fat wad of cash already. and they're at that stage where it's almost automatic now. They have gone through this process hundreds of thousands of times, and it's just in their muscle memory.
Right.
That competency stage, or unconscious competence, I think it's like one of the terms used, where it's just ingrained so much into their brain by that point. But for, like you say, the people that aren't, all of us combined aren't at that level of 20 years yet of experience, 30 years experience, I think it's as important as ever to journal, because like you say, it's such a competitive arena that we should be looking at ways to get better. And I know that Tom, using yours as the reference and staying on that topic, crunches numbers in one way for an hour a day. Every day crunches numbers in one way. So he tests trailing like different exit rules, or tests a new theory on like whatever he trades in terms of every day he tests something new for an hour.
Wow.
And just tries to increase his edge.
It's crazy.
Every day for an hour. And like you say, if you do that for 20 years,
right,
you're going to be pretty good.
Right. And then how much do you really need to do? Yeah. And I think you're probably right. It is more of the one-off guy, because I don't know how, like, I feel like if I stopped tracking everything, I wouldn't, like, I don't remember what happens on a Monday when it's Friday. I don't remember the lessons from that day. I don't remember what I was thinking. So I need to write it down. Maybe I'm just losing my brain cells, but I think I need to write it down. Colin, do you think luck is involved in trading? Let's get into this, because I feel like this is a good parallel. Tom, don't laugh. You know we need to talk about this. This is a heated debate. This is a very heated debate. Tell me in the YouTube comments, everybody, is luck involved in trading? Because this is a heated conversation in the Black Shirt Club. So Colin, you take the wheel first.
So I think that luck plays a huge factor in trading. Because on my viewpoint, like trade by trade basis by the late Mark Douglas is uncertainty, right? And uncertainty needs luck, right? So if we don't have luck, how can we win the trade? Because we actually don't know after we sell or buy if the people will actually step in to buy and sell after us, right? That's how we need to win, right? We need people to sell and buy after us. And if those people don't come in, we are gonna be the losers, right? So think about it, like we don't know what the minds is thinking, right? So there's that uncertainty makes that trading needs luck to evolve. Like if you guys play with the Monte Carlo simulator, you'll know that like there's different lines, right? But there's some lines which is above the water. So you don't know like which line you're on, right? You need luck to define you on which line you're on. So I think luck plays a huge factor in trading. But in a long term, we are the casinos. And in the short term, we were gamblers. So we were like the hybrid of casinos and gamblers. But I think if we can accept that uncertainty and luck plays a factor in our trading, more traders will actually make money because they will respect risk much more, because you need luck to win that trade. So why would you put something that you are not willing to lose on the table, right? So that doesn't make sense, right? Isn't it, guys?
Yeah, no, I think Colin, I give Colin stick about this, because he likes to think of us at times as gamblers, and he's right short term to a degree in the fact that we don't control the outcome of any single trade. So that is a gamble. But he did mention the long term, which is the bit that we've been trying to get in, is you can have a positive expectancy, and over the long term, it's not then going to be a gamble because you're letting your edge play out over time. So, but I did like the fact that Colin brought up the Monte Carlo simulation, and you are absolutely right. You can have an expectancy, and like it was Jake yesterday, we were on the podcast, the Trend Spider. He talks about, he used the weather and how you can map it out by having like the V cone, and it's exactly the same. You can have the same stats, etc., same win rate, same average win, and somebody can make 200k and somebody could make 50k with exactly the same, depending on the first 200, 300 trades, because of the luck or the way that the Monte Carlo system. So there is definitely an element of luck in there, and the lower the time frame, the more plays a part. So for like one of the ways that I like to demonstrate is like on funding challenges, for example. And people may agree with me or not, or disagree on this point. But taking a funding challenge, if you have, say, 20 days to make 8%, which we know some firms have to do, them 20 trades, you can do everything right and still not make 8%. So to pass something like that, there is going to be an element of luck. And in January, you might not do it, but you might do it in May and still do exactly the same thing. So there is an element of luck in trading in certain areas, definitely.
Yeah, I like what you guys both said about the outcomes being unknown. I think that's the biggest thing from my perspective of like what I want new traders to take away from this is just like when you click the button, you don't know if it's a win or a loss. You can use indicators and systems to put probabilities in your favor, but you never know. And I think that as long as like you understand that when you get into trading, it's harder to understand than it is to just hear it, because like you said, Tom, you could do everything right and still lose money in trading, still fail a funding challenge, right? Like you can still experience what people would call loss. You have to have like mental fortitude to say, well, that is not loss. That is just the data of the outcome. Bigger picture, like Colin said, I'm the casino. I have the edge. You guys both made really great points there. So to move off of this a little bit, if luck is involved to a heavy extent, like Colin said, and we know that, and we know that the outcomes are unknown, how do you handle setbacks and losses, Colin? Even right now, we had a call this morning, a coaching call, and we talked about some of the losses you're taking as you're testing these counter trend ideas. So how do you view setbacks and losses overall? What's your philosophy on it?
So I think if you respect luck, you see yourself when you fail, you are on the risk side. So when there's a winner, there's always a losers. So people always think of something that's maybe they think of like Amazon. They're so big right now, but they don't see that the things that they failed on. If you focus on the things that you failed on, you're never going to be successful, right? But if you treat those as a like mentality, as like we got to work hard, but we need luck to back you up in order for that hard work to success, you handle losses much more easily. So this is what I want to emphasize, is that if you respect luck, you also respect risk, the risk side. So if I lose the trade, what my brain is default into thinking is that, okay, I'm just on the unlucky side of thing, which is the risk side of thing. And I got that handled, right? I have my max daily drawdown and my max consecutive losses per day. And that's already have my back, right? But on the flip side, what if I win? Like that's when luck finds me, and that's when I maximize my winnings during those times.
Right. And this isn't superstition. Like you're not trying to say like you got to sleep with a fork under your pillow to have luck come find you. It's just a perspective that you're sharing, right? Unless do you have some superstition that you're not telling us that we should be doing?
No. It's all about my mindset. I always think of like luck and risk are actually equal. Because as I mentioned before, like someone wins, someone have to lose in trading. So I'm just unlucky to be landing on the losing side. But if I have my trade management well and my take profit well, actually, even if I win 50% of the time, which is like a coin flip, right? That's luck, right? If I have a good money management system, I could actually come out winning money with a 50% like coin flip, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything in there, Tom? And real quick before I pass it to you, did you know that I retweeted like 2 hours ago that Amazon earnings showed the largest annual loss ever by a public company, and you just used Amazon as your reference about their losses? Did you know that?
I see a peek on my phone, but I didn't click on it.
Yes. That's a perfect reference. I mean, like on just real quick on that, it's like, you think Amazon sweats losses so little that literally if you buy something from them that's a pain in the ass to return, they just tell you to keep it if you try to return it, and they give you your money back. I bought like this pull-up bar thing once for a long time ago, for outdoor like pull-up workout thing. it didn't come with enough parts. Like we had to jerry rig it up together to make it work. And we put it in for a refund. They were like, keep it and here's your money back. They don't care about losses that much, bro, because there's so much more focused on the bigger picture.
What was the value? Did it give you the value
of the loss?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
That's good. But yeah, I agree with the point that you made. I had the same with the phone case. It didn't come with one of the parts, and they were like, "No, just keep it. We'll give you a refund. Here you go." Crazy.
Okay. I think that's what people that respect risk think about it. Like because if you always think of like if you don't respect the luck element in success, you would be very, very disappointed if you fail. So, but if you implement that, luck plays a factor in anyone's success.
So what's
you'll be more like competent on it. Yeah.
I got the number.
Some advice to new traders then. What are your major key risk rules? What protects you?
2.7 billion, just so you know, last year. That's what I'm seeing. $2.7 billion loss.
Wow. Okay. Wow. If I if I have 2.7 billion loss, that would be fucking cool, right?
Yes, it would, Colin. So wait, go ahead. You can answer Tom's question. That's a good question.
So for me, like, I think I read somewhere that like people can only make like 1 to 2 best decisions per day, right?
I've heard that.
Yeah. You guys heard that? So so that's what I base on. So if I have 2 consecutive losses, I will like call it a day and journal my stuff and do some like number crunching to replace that like trading hours that I have. And also, if I'm down 1% per day, I'm gonna like stop trading immediately, and the next day I will have my risk. That's how I manage risk, and how I survive in this market. Yeah.
So many people could learn from just literally following them 2 simple rules.
Yeah, exactly. I think
they would be far better off by doing that a lot of the time. I liked the bit where you said, and I know you did this yesterday, actually, so I know it's true, where you said you take 2 consecutive losses, and if you take them, you use the rest of the day to then number crunch and do other bits and do a load of testing. And I know you did that yesterday because you took two hits yesterday and did the same. So I think it's great advice for people, and people would be far better off by doing it, but I know plenty of people aren't going to do it. But please listen to what Colin is saying, because it will keep you in the game and give you enough time to get there ultimately. And I think that is one of your strengths.
So what do you think about funding? What do you think about funding companies, Colin? What's the approach? Because I'm curious, like, I know there are other traders in Hong Kong. So like, are other traders near you funding, like trying to get funded? What's the vibe from your perspective?
So I think in Hong Kong, like funding is not a big thing in Hong Kong. So people literally like trade their own money. So they don't trade Forex much. I know my cousin trade Forex and he used like Vantage as his broker, but he's using his own money. So I think funding is not a very big thing in Hong Kong. And I don't think there's any like funding companies in Hong Kong, because people in Hong Kong actually likes to like just buy and hold stocks and just trade stocks. And
what do they trade most? US stocks? Like US stocks?
No, they trade like the
Hong Kong stocks,
HK50, like Hang Seng Index. I don't know, you guys know that or not?
Come on, bro. Of course we know the Hang Seng.
Yeah, Hang Seng indexes, and they trade China stocks and Alibaba and that kind of stuff.
So why didn't you go that route? Why are you trying to get funded and trade Forex and be different?
Because that's interesting. Because when I joined ASFX, you actually lost your 100K account, and that's actually the thing that makes me buy your courses and learn from you. So
isn't that funny?
I think, yeah, that's funny, because you said you're trading with other people's money, right? And that actually opens a door for like okay, I don't need to put my earned capital in risk. And I can, because I already balls deep in Bitcoin, right? So So I don't want to like put more money in the market to risk. So if I can learn the skills and get funded with like whatever funding companies that aligns with your interests, yeah, that's a good bet, right? So that's why I try to get funded with you guys. Yeah.
So now,
So
what is your
ASFX,
thought? Do you think Bitcoin comes back? Like, are you watching Bitcoin every day to see when we get back to 50K?
yeah. Well, for in yeah, I think because Bitcoin has something like a 4-year cycle, right? So 2020 is the cycle, and I think 2024 maybe they will run up to 100K. So yeah, but I'm still holding Bitcoin, my
I
Bitcoins.
agree, bro. I think that it's very hard to see Bitcoin going to zero. I think the only options are, does it stay trading around what it is now, 25, 22,000, or does it actually have the potential to be what, Kathy Wood and everybody says, 100K by 2030, 100K by 2025, whatever. I mean, I hope so for the people holding. I hope it does. I'm not holding a ton of Bitcoin, so I'm not even hoping for myself. I'm more hoping for you. What do you think about crypto, Tom? You never talk about crypto.
I'm not really that interested in it.
Really?
That's not my bag. I don't have any predictions. I don't have any thoughts.
You'd rather go to the horses.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, no, I say that. It's probably one of my biggest regrets is obviously one of my pals that I do the gambling with. He was
probably
a
been
professional
sitting on
poker
Bitcoin
player.
forever. That's what you're going to tell us, right? He's had Bitcoin. He was talking about it years ago, right?
He was a professional poker player before, and all of these like his shrewd mates that he was with all talking about it, and I'm talking like way under $100 a Bitcoin.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah. And he was in, and he was like, every week we would sit there and he's like, just bought some more Bitcoin. I remember he had it on the screen next to me. He's like, yeah, I'm buying a bit more Bitcoin. Get in Bitcoin. I was like, no.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Would you be still
he did
holding it?
well.
Like, honestly, would you still be holding Bitcoin if you bought it $100 and at this point it's gone up to 70,000 at one point? Would you really still be holding it?
He held it all the way.
That's incredible.
He held it all the way.
I've never seen anything. That guy must have giant balls, bro. Holy shit.
He's a saint.
One emotionless motherfucker.
That is
I can tell you that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for him. I don't have the investing like perspective, the investing hat. Like I don't have that bug. I got the day trading bug for sure. I'm an in and out kind of guy, I don't know why. And I do still put money aside and I buy ETFs for long-term investing, but that's not something I would like. You can't even sell it when you buy it in an retirement account until you're 65 or you pay a 10% penalty. Mm-hmm. So like that, you can't even sell it unless you want to give away money, which, with the Jewish thing.
Not in that game. Well,
right.
I suppose we are at some days. I feel like that when I trade euro pound now.
What?
I'm just giving it away.
Bro, that pair has never worked well. I'm telling you, that pair is a very tricky pair.
You do tell me.
But you know what? What the fuck do I know? Colin, what do you think about your favorite assets, bro? Because I know that this was a question I wanted to talk to you about. Favorite assets to trade, assets that you hate to trade. Give the people some insight.
Well, my favorite asset is actually euro and pound pairs. EJ, GJ, and cable, GU, and EU, that kind of asset, except euro pound, which doesn't work well. and the worst one from my stats is actually interesting. It's the best thing that you trade prior. Like it's Bitcoin. I don't know why. So that's why I hold it instead of trading it. Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. No, those are good. I mean, those are really good pairs to trade. I think for me, what I've been really focused on, like why I haven't traded Bitcoin, is the spread. If you have a broker with good spread, Bitcoin's great. Like Bitcoin alone is enough volatility to help you pass funding challenges. That's what I did. So like I'm lucky that it worked out, that I was not having spread issues with Bitcoin with my Forex funds before the new year. And now after the new year, it's like their spreads have been bumped since like literally January came back after the holidays. Spread is way bigger. I don't understand why, but that turned me away. And now I'm doing a lot of SPX. I'm curious because maybe you can give me some good advice, Colin. This week I've been really thinking a lot about on SPX, and of course, Tom, chime into this. Like I've had 3 trades that I could have been in. C setups. I didn't take any of them. Definitely, I mean, they all Tuesdays was a winner, Wednesdays was a winner. Today, I liked the short idea on SPX. It was like a counter trend. Still, even if you traded a C setup, those are 3 wins I could have had, and I didn't take any of them. So, have you struggled with not trading enough, Colin?
Oh, you know that like when I came in, I came in for a 1 minute time frame. So
You were just
actually
trading like crazy.
I trading crazy.
But
Like I
you
thought
never
like
had the time of like being too selective. Because I feel like a lot of the guys you probably see in the group, Tom and I would have both experienced it, being too selective at certain points.
so this is where I came from. Like because I came from the so many trades point of view. Actually, I need to be more selective to make money out of it. Because if I take too, it's actually a good thing. When you start out to test a strategy or you trade a system, I think it's the best to take more trades, but with a small risk that you can afford to lose. After you have that kind of like data point, you could like start to see, okay, what patterns actually work well, what patterns doesn't work well. So take out what doesn't work and trade what works. And I think that's how selectivity comes in for me. Like I was used to gunning every trades, but since seeing my stats, like C setups doesn't work well, and it's draining my percentage a lot, and I cut that out. Only trade B setups, or even some people will like size up in the A setups, which I haven't done it yet. And that's how like you got that's how you earn more and make more by doing less things actually.
Yeah.
As you what you said, right? Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
I think for me, because you're looking at just one, you're massively focused on one, maybe 2 assets now, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I think you're just like anybody that's trying to improve it or go through there's a transition phase, and you have to find your feet in that. And when you've always trended like in trade, L50 doesn't lie, you're going with everything that you've said before. If you're then trading one pattern on one pair, there comes a point where you're going to want to maybe trade lower probability setup so you can keep taking the
Well, that's
trade.
where I'm at now. Right.
And that's just a transition phase for you to go through. And this is exactly what it is. So now you've said, right, I've missed 3 trades this week that I could have been in. So if we then go back through the process, well, you've journaled it, you've identified the issue. So now we try and put a possible solution in place. Next week, your focus for the week is, I'm not going to miss any trades. If I have a read and I feel like my belief is this, I'm going to put something on it. Don't care whether it's 0.01, but I'm going to put something on it. And then
the
you
fear
build
of
on
loss is real, Tom. You don't.
I know.
Of
We start small and we build on it.
course.
And like you say, you gather the stats, and over time you'll say, well, do you know what? I've taken 30, 40 trades on this. And if they're at 0.01, even if all 40 lose, it's still less than 0.5%, which they're not all going to be.
No, for sure.
So I think that's where I would try and go to, because I think you want to build that confidence.
I think it's also a byproduct of like having more money to trade with, not wanting to lose it, but also just not wanting to go into drawdown and I'm on a win streak still. Like I'm that all plays a factor in not trading from my perspective. So it's interesting, bro. Like no matter how good you think you're doing, you can get payouts, you can do whatever. There's still probably something you can be working on. It's just a matter of, did you find it or not? That's really what it is. Even
There's
Tom
always...
Dante, even every right?
Yeah.
You guys there's always something. You just only know about it if you journal it, and you track it.
So that's what the DRC is for. Like you have the question like, what can you make more or lose less? If you really dig deep into it, you will find something that you can actually test at the end of the week to see if that works. And I can guarantee like most of the ideas probably don't work, but the things that actually works will actually make you like a lot more money, because it's the 80-20 rules, but you got to test it to see if it works or not. Like, and also trading is kind of personal, because what works well for you might doesn't work well for me. So if you don't track it, if you don't journal it, you won't know what asset that you trade best and what asset you trade worse. So if you are actually bad at Bitcoin, but you keep hammering your money in Bitcoin, you're gonna like lose all your money and you couldn't bet anymore, right? So So that's why like tracking and journaling and improving is always here for us traders. Yeah.
So what advice do you have for the new Black Shirt Club members, people listening to this, thinking about coming into the club?
I think if you are really serious, then you might want to consider BlackShirtClub. But if you are not serious, and if you're not like willing to put in the work, like it's actually a lot of work. Like if you want to like improve and if you're not willing to put in that work, I don't think you are fit for BlackShirtClub, to be honest. So if for real, like because trading is so hard, really, for real, like so hard, like you're gonna put in so much time to make this work, and if you're not willing to put in that kind of amount of hours and work to do the journaling or tracking or like even treating like and respecting yourself with your habits that you put on, I don't think the Black Shirt Club is for you. But if you are like really determined and really hunger for success, and you're willing to do whatever it takes, like the coaches tell you to do, then I think the Black Shirt Club really fits you, because they have everything ready for you. The system is tested, and you just got to follow them and tweak them to your style. That's how you get successful Black Shirt Club.
It's really good advice. I think that is probably the biggest, not a hurdle, but like the biggest thing to be ready for people that are listening that are not in the club. There is work required. We can't make improvements without you showing up and putting in the work to track the trades, like Colin saying, crunch the numbers, test new strat, like tweak new things. It is definitely laid out like a blueprint, but that doesn't mean it's just plug and play. There's still work required.
Yeah.
Really well said.
Yeah.
Really well said. Did you want to add anything in there, Tommy?
No, I thought that was really good. I think for me, the standout for is people asking questions. Use the resource, and this is the same for everybody.
Yeah, you said that.
It's just ask. If you're not
Colin
sure
did a
of
really
anything,
good job at that, and it helped.
And
Yeah.
I also think that the people that join Black Shirt Club are serious guys. So you can make great connection and great friends inside the Black Shirt Club. So there's a guy named Sebastian inside the Black Shirt Club, and he's a like gym coach, and literally, like, I asked him for advice on what can I do to improve my bodies, and how can I tweak my hours to sleep better and eat better. So the connection you make inside is also excellent if you are like keen on asking question and be humble. And that's the key. Be
And
humble and asking
open-minded.
questions.
You're very open-minded,
exactly.
so you receive the information well. So I guess this is my last question for you. Why did you join the Black Shirt Club and come to the London seminar in the same year? Because some people would be like, why do you need both?
I think it's because I want to meet you guys in person, and also because you need to know that if you are like doing something with people, you want to meet them in person and see like actually are they legit or not, and actually you guys are legit. That's why like when I came here, I was actually very pleasant to be in the London seminar. And I think if you want to improve your trading, seminar and the Black Shirt Club can actually work well together, because you can actually have some statistic that you don't have when you go to the London seminar, and you guys give us the statistic that the Black Shirt Club members maybe don't have, and that's why the London seminar is actually worth every penny that I've actually spent. Yeah,
there you go. I love it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you at the London seminar this year then too.
Yeah, I think I will be there. Yeah, I'll see you there, bro. Yeah,
I love it. Well, listen, bro,
Yeah.
this has been awesome. I really appreciate you sitting down and giving us the time, because I think it accomplished exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be able to pull some value from your experience. I hope people that are listening can hear how real and authentic your experience is. It's fresh. It's just been happening over the last few months. And I feel like it's relatable. Like a lot of people listening are going to be like, I can relate to being that guy that Colin was, but I want to become the guy that Colin is now. So hopefully that'll motivate some people to jump on the ship and get into the Black Shirt Club with you. And then that'd be cool. Maybe they found you on the podcast and they're coming to the club, and it'd be awesome. So we'll leave it here. Everybody listening, watching, make sure you hit us in the comments. If you have any questions for Colin, we'll bring him on for another episode. I'll put Colin's Twitter link in the description as well, so you guys can follow and connect with Colin. He loves to connect with other traders. Look at him smiling. And we appreciate the time as always, everybody. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a great trading week, and we'll see you guys in the next one.